office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. REV-UP St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Up next, Harddrive with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we truly care. During life's most difficult moments, we want you to know you are not alone.
At Rambali's, we are dedicated to providing dignity, compassion, and comfort when you need it the most.
Our caring team is here to walk with you every step of the way, whether it's in planning a gentle farewell or celebrating the beautiful life of your loved one.
We understand how precious they are, and we promise to honor their memory with the utmost respect and love.
Let us help you find peace and solace during this challenging time.
Please reach out to us at
758-452-2021, Castries, or 758-454-9239, Latuni, Viewfort, or visit us at ramballysfuneral.com.
We're here for you, ready to listen, support,
and serve with heartfelt compassion. You can lean on us.
At Rambali's,
we care.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and to our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X, and also on DBS Television, I believe. Welcome to Harddrive for today, Tuesday, the 17th of February. My name is Andre Paul, the host of the show, none other than the beautiful Lady J. Lady J, good morning to you.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning. How are you? I see we both in blue today.
Yeah, I'm little boy blue.
Little?
Yeah, little
okay,
boy
then.
blue.
Okay, then. That reminds me
Didn't you say that age is just a number?
You said it wasn't.
Yes, at some point. But I think you have the opinion that age. So I'm agreeing with you today, right? Up to a certain point, 90%.
Well, my reasoning was the individual. So you were saying that? Okay,
so,
fine.
Little boy blue.
I said it's based on the individual. And somebody just requested Sandra Lord's song. Remember she was
just
called
about saying, what is the name again? Little Girl Blue or something like that? What does she call again? Little
Blue.
What was
Little
it?
Miss.
Little
Blue.
Miss Blue, right. I wonder why they call her Little Miss Blue. I never asked that question.
I think she always wore blue ribbons. Something to do with ribbons.
Really?
Yeah. Something to do with
Little
ribbons.
Miss Blue.
Yeah.
And I remember she lived in the CDC area there.
That's right.
Pretty eyes. Remember that?
What was it?
She got some beautiful eyes.
She and her sister were pretty close. They were one before the other. These two were really close.
Yeah.
I think she lost a brother, and they might be 3 girls right now. I can't remember the entire family. But years ago, I was walking on, what street is that? Victoria Street. And I bumped into her. She had not been in St. Lucia for a while, and I bumped into her. So it was really nice to see her, because we both kind of, you look familiar, kind of look,
right.
and then run to each other and hugged each other. It was nice to see her.
Yeah, she was really popular back in the day. Yeah, she was considered one of the better singers in St. Lucia.
Yes.
She had an album one time, and I remember the jacket was a sort of close-up pic of her face. I remember that, yeah.
Well, the last album I know about is she was in black, like she was in the cold. So she was all furried up.
Yeah.
That's the last album I know. I don't remember what the name was. That's a long time
ago. And she
ago.
left St. Lucia a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah, Little Miss Blue. And of course, later, Sandra Lord, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she had a sort of look like you, kind of.
People used to, the same way they do with her, the St. Thomas, myself.
Right. Your eyes are similar.
They would say that.
Yeah. Beautiful eyes. All right. Okay, Lady J, all is well on your side?
Yeah, all is well. Thank you very much.
That's
My mom
good.
is doing so much better. Yeah.
Did you catch a little glimpse of our topic this morning about cruelty to animals and
the last
would you date somebody who you know is cruel to animals or doesn't like animals? Yeah. And it was interesting. Very, very interesting.
Why that topic? Are you talking about love or something? Because I know it's a love
zone
topic.
So in other words, would you continue
animals?
The topic was, would you continue dating someone if you found out that they're cruel to animals?
Oh, okay.
So in other words, you get to know somebody, and in the course of the getting to know, right? The honeymoon stage of the relationship, you realize, hey, they're treating animals badly. So now you have to ask yourself, do I want to be with somebody like that? So the consensus seemed to have been that no, we wouldn't like to date somebody who's cruel to animals.
Well, I totally agree. If you can be cruel to animals, you will be cruel to human beings as well. Trust me.
That point was made.
There's a very thin line between the two. So I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So anything you want to mention before we move on?
Well, Andre, it's funny because I just noticed that they made a survey. Let me see what the name is. It's the 2026 report by Digital Entertainment Platform. That's jb.com. And they viewed 22 high-profile couples across music, film, fashion, and sports. And guess who topped it? Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Wow.
Beyonce and Jay-Z topped it. They're the richest couple in, of course, that category. $3.5
so the
billion
richest couple in which category?
Across music, film, fashion, and sports. If they viewed 22, they're saying, right? But I never heard of this digital entertainment platform, jb.com. But it's $3.5 billion, the network. That's what they're saying, 3.5.
And I think as a
that's
couple,
between the two.
I think as a couple, they're worth over $1 billion. I think as a couple, and that's why they call them the power couple.
But it's 3.5 billion.
Now,
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They 3.5. That's what they have. So I mean, Andre, yes, we know that she's doing a lot and she's assisting, so that's a good thing. But that's a whole lot of money. And remember, she's branching off in cosmetics as well. Clothing as well, because her mom was I think her uncle was a seamstress, or should I say a tailor or whatever he was, yes, before he died of AIDS, HIV, I think, related. And then the mother was the hairdresser, so there's all of that in the family. So yeah, she's doing pretty good.
So I've been behind, man. I've been behind. Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
As of late 2025, Jay-Z and Beyonce are one of the world's wealthiest couples with a combined net worth of exceeding $3.5 billion. Wow, boy. Let me see. Jay-Z's net worth $2.5 billion. That's him. But Beyonce has reached billion-dollar status, bringing her estimated worth to over $1 billion following her successful Renaissance World Tour.
Right. So 2 plus 1, that's 3 plus, so 3 point. Yeah, they're correct.
Wow.
They're correct.
Wow. Well, boy.
And that was expected because, I mean, Jay-Z makes a whole lot of money and Beyonce has been, steady. She's really been steady, especially when she moved out on her own. She's been pretty steady, I must admit.
But, this morning I read about Jesse Jackson. He died.
Oh, no, I didn't see that one.
Age,
I'm sorry to hear that.
84, age 84.
Wow. Yeah, he was ailing for some time, I remember. Yeah, but he was still trying to come out and be part of, whatever is happening. So, sorry to hear that. I think he should still have another 10 years on this earth, but it is what it is.
I think if he were a lot younger, he'd be a lot more vocal against like a guy like Donald Trump. Yeah, so...
No, not younger. If he was well, because whether he's young or not, he spoke out. This man spoke out over anything.
Yeah, you're
everything.
right. Yeah, you're right. If he was well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he would still come out and speak. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't hear that before leaving the house.
I think he was battling Parkinson's disease. I think he had a few other issues.
Yeah.
I think he came down, with COVID twice, if I'm not mistaken.
That
So
really
he's had a rough
system.
thing. Yeah, boy. This thing called old age. I remember one time I was talking to somebody who was at that stage, and he said to me, Andre, old age is a curse. I remember the person saying that to me. And the person eventually died.
But if we say that too much, it's as if we want to get rid of ourselves before we actually get to the age. You know what I mean? Don't you think of that? I mean, I watch my mom, and sometimes I'm a little bit concerned, yeah? But I also watch the lady at the battle relay, and that gave me hope. So I think it's an individual thing. I think it's an individual thing. I mean, with my mom looks good for her age, but she's got bone on bone. So it's a little difficult for her walking. But when I saw the lady walking, I mean, not very fast, but she was still walking and doing a little side movement, which means, even if she has some kind of pain, but she can still walk without being aided. She was walking without a stick. So I told myself that gives me hope, as well as we see some people over 100, maybe on wheelchairs, but I'm talking about St. Lucia, I'm not talking about outside of St. Lucia. Maybe on wheelchairs, but one or two of them can still get up and do a little something for themselves. Because, Andre, the worst thing is to be in your 90s and you can't do anything for yourself. You're just existing.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably I don't think it's a fear, but I think about it.
And what about this issue of retirement? A lot of people look forward to retiring. Okay? And I know people who retired in their, 50s, somewhere around there. And I see some of them, and I'm saying, what? They're not really doing anything much in their life, just drinking. Some of them, I don't even see them anymore. I suspect they're probably not well. I rather suspect that. But I could be wrong. Nonetheless, I don't know. I feel as I can go as long as I can go.
And it should be like that.
Yeah, that word retirement, that does not exist in my vocabulary. And I see some people look forward to that time,
Well, it
retire,
depends.
and I don't. To me, especially in the St. Lucian environment, where there's not much to do, where old people are concerned. You understand? That's why I keep talking and dropping little remarks there for both administrations.
Yeah.
To
We got to do. It's not just about the youth. It's about the elderly
as
too.
As well.
Because everything is concentrated all of a sudden on the youth, and I understand that.
Definitely.
Because they will soon be,
our future.
Yeah. But at the same time, these elderly were youth as well. And they're the ones, just like the youth, that need all the help. But in my opinion, the elderly need more help than the youth, because we are still alive for the young ones, as in the parents, auntie, uncle, whatever. How many people are there for the elderly? Most of their sisters, brothers, and what have you are gone. So, the government needs to step in and assist as best as they can.
Yes, and I have a few ideas for them.
It would be nice if there was...
They should consult me.
Okay, Andre.
Consult me. Yeah. I'd be a good representative, I can tell you that. I say, here's what we want.
Well, I can say one of what I wish there could be. And that would be a daycare for the elderly.
A daycare?
Yeah, by government, of course.
Oh, you mean, okay, right.
So they can come in and spend a few hours, get them involved with whatever games, whether it's just to stimulate the mind. Anything they could think of to stimulate the mind, just like they are daycare centers for the kids. Of course, we have to pay for that. So I don't know if government have a free one. But I know Sandals have one, and I don't know if the staff pay. They would have to answer to that. But I know Sandals manage one in, it's somewhere by Wasco. That would be Sanssouci. Yes, somewhere there. So I think that would be great.
I think
some
so too.
place that you could bring your mother, grandmother, what have you. And whether it's for 4 hours or 8 hours, it does not really matter. But I mean, that would be great for the elderly. It's something that they can look into. And I'm not saying it has to be ready in 2026, but it's something they can look into. And both administrations, by the way.
Yeah, and include both males and females in that center.
As well. As well.
Not only fellas.
But you've got... there was one in the U.S., Andrew. The man was going out and having sex with all the women. So
at the daycare?
Yeah. Well, I must get that article again.
They'll have to change the daycare to some other name, not daycare anymore, because he was really taking care.
That was funny. I'm like, that man was something else, boy.
Wow. But the elderly who actually meet a partner at these centers and so on.
Yeah.
It does have, they actually get married and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me,
it's just companionship they're looking for.
Yeah. Not because a prune is shriveled. That means
that's a good way of it's a bad thing, but it's a good way of explaining it, Andrew.
Not because a prune is shriveled does it mean that's not sweet. Right? Yes, man.
That's a bad way of looking at the human body.
No, I'm just describing myself.
Okay. If it's for you, then that's fine. But can you imagine thinking of the individuals we talking to, the elderly, the way you're doing it? Andrew, that's bad. I don't even want to think about it. But
Lady J, even our children sometimes feel like, my mother and my father still, getting it on. Some children have a problem with that, They can't see their parents doing that sort of thing. Like you're supposed to stop that at a certain age. Just stop.
Maybe. But I think, well, my mom wouldn't be hearing me because I doubt. But I think maybe 15, somewhere there, passing by the room, and I could tell that they were doing something. I felt good. You know why I felt good? Totally different. I love when my parents looked like they were in love. That's the difference with me. I loved it. So when I passed, and I don't know if they were into the hanky-panky or if they were just having a conversation, but it seemed very loving, whatever was going on in there, and I liked it. So I was totally different. They could have done it all day long and I would feel good. Yeah.
One time I remember I was a little fella, a little guy, and we had some neighbors around the place there. And I like to go take my little lime already. So I go and take a lime in the people's house. When I enter the door, right? The man threw one shoe at me. The man felt one shoe. Pah! So because I saw this thing and it looked like a fight. That's what it looked like to me. So I went home and I told my grandmother, "Mommy."
How old were you at that time?
I don't remember, probably maybe 9 years old, somewhere around there. I remember I said to my grandmother, "I see so-and-so fighting."
How did she know it wasn't that?
She was laughing.
So she knew.
She was laughing. I said it. She was laughing. Yeah, man. The man fired a shoe after me, man.
So, Andrea, at what age you realize, this wasn't a fight? This was two people that I disturbed. Yeah. This
morning, Mr. Sylvester called and he said that if anybody catch him in that position, he said he's not stopping. He's not stopping.
Well, I mean, nobody would stop and keep looking. They would always, I'm sorry, and turn around. I mean, why would you stay looking at, I don't know, Andre, would you stay looking?
Nah, no way, especially me at my age right now.
No, whether you were younger or not. I think it's something that it was like, I'm sorry, unless, of course, you went there to see them because of under different circumstances. I want to catch them.
Yeah.
So I want to see. But still, even if you're going to catch, you still don't want to see. You want to grab and tear apart and whatever the case is. Or say, I see you and walk away.
But I was just making the point a while ago, Lady J, that a lot of people believe, especially children, right? Your own children believe at a certain age you're not supposed to be involved in hanky-panky. And they find out like that nyak. My mother, my father, kind of thing. Yeah. But,
but it's not a conversation you would have. You wouldn't have a conversation like that with your son, would you? Or your daughter?
Well, of course, I wouldn't go I wouldn't initiate it, but if you come and ask me about it, I say, of course I still imbibe.
No, we're not talking about saying it. We're talking about actually explaining how it makes you feel and this and that and the other. You wouldn't have a conversation like that with your son or your daughter?
Yeah, if you ask me, I'll tell them, but I don't think they will ask me that anyway.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, if they would. So it's the same thing like you actually seeing it in action. It's going to, mommy and daddy, oh my God. But when you think about it, you're going to get to do it too. So, I mean, I don't, if Consuelo is going to talk to me about that, that's not a problem. I'm going to listen. And if I have to laugh at whatever it is, I'm going to laugh. But I don't think that I am going to get, like you say, or we are talking, get into a conversation like that as to what her dad and I do. But I'm sure she would love to know that we are still in love when it comes to the bedroom.
Right,
you know what I mean? Exactly.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure people are going to chime in on that.
As the British would say, carry on. Okay, so before we move on, thank you, Lady J, for sending me that video. Yesterday, folks, we were talking about this incident that took place in Trinidad, I think on Saturday afternoon. Broad daylight, broad daylight. That looked like it was a park, right? And there were children playing at that time, okay? And all of a sudden, you see a man and a woman exiting a vehicle, right? And I think the man is standing there, maybe on his phone or something. I'm not too sure, but it looked like he was a little distracted. And then the lady now is kind of nearby. And you just heard his shots just, ring out. And you see this guy coming from almost from nowhere. And he's just heading straight toward the guy. And the guy realizing now what's going on, he tried to get away as best as he could. But maybe he was unarmed, that's for sure. Or even if he was armed, I guess he was panicking at that particular point in time.
Too quick. That was too quick.
Yes, it was just happening so
wasn't
quickly.
ready.
So the guy firing shots one after the other. He has no shame. He doesn't think that this is not the right place for that. This is an open
so
area.
Many kids were around.
And of course, he was wearing a hoodie for true. He was wearing that. So I guess he figured he can take those risks. And then now, so he fires shots at the guy. Definitely his intended target. In fact, it looked like both were his intended target. Both the man and the woman. Because the lady she ran away trying to protect the child, and then and while she's doing that, now she's panicking, she tumbles over the child.
I'm not sure she tumbled over if he shot her. Because watch when she's down. She's not rolling or anything. But the child gets up. So I'm not sure if he shot her, that's why she fell. Either
Probably,
way, but I know he got very close to her and gave her the final shot.
Yes. So she tumbles over either through him shooting at her.
Because you were still hearing shots.
Yes, he was still firing. So I was just assuming that she was trying to protect the child, and in trying to protect the child, remember she's panicking.
Yeah,
she's tumbled over.
Yes,
right. And the child kind of gets up, and look, the lady's still down, and that whatever I can't think of a name to call them kind of people.
But Andre, you saw when the child looked back, eh?
If I saw,
and that's the same time he went and shoot.
Yeah. So
that was cruel.
So the child is about coming back to her mother because she's concerned.
Yeah,
she's concerned. And then the guy fires those shots
and
at the lady.
Just took off.
And the child ran because at that point there, it's normal, natural for a child to respond like that. That's not what she intended to do, but it was just a natural response.
Yeah.
And imagine seeing that.
I was so worried that he would have given that child a bullet in the back.
Yeah, but he didn't do that.
No, he went the opposite direction.
So he was definitely aiming
for the two. Yeah, that's what I think.
Because if he had just come for the guy, he would have just done what he did and just left. But he actually came back for the woman.
Chances are she probably would have been able to inform as to who this person was.
Exactly.
And so that's why we got to get rid of her too. Who knows? But I hope that is investigated. And even if it's not in our country, but it would be good for us to, keep abreast and find out.
But Lady J, I can tell you something. It's not only in St. Lucia we recognize people. Imagine I was at a particular place down in Vieux Day on Saturday. A fellow saw me from a mile off. And the man can say, Andre, your head, I see, I recognize your head.
Well, Andre, you're always on the screen. So that helps too.
There was one time I remember I was taking a walk, up in the, what area was that? Anyway, someplace up north. And a lady said to me, I saw you walking, I recognize your walk. So it's not only in St. Lucia they do those things.
Yeah.
That's sucker that did that. I'm sure there are people who recognize that sucker right away.
Maybe. But Andre, remember he didn't have tight clothing on. They could probably recognize the height.
Whatever.
Obviously.
There's certain things, once you're around somebody, you know them. You understand?
Yeah, and these might be the people that will not say. That's the thing.
When I saw that thing, folks, I asked myself, what would be a fitting punishment for somebody like that who'll do something like that? And I was messaging Lady J yesterday. I said to Lady J, if I were, say, a prime minister of a country, and I have to deal, you see those kinds of crimes, that in particular, brother man, you going, if it's on the books that we have capital punishment, I'm saying if it's on the books, we have capital punishment. If I'm prime minister in that particular case, you getting firing squad in your skin, man. Firing squad in your skin. Let's see what that feels like. Okay? And I put in no hoodie on you because you had a hoodie at the time.
Right. People have to see
no hoodie. Not people. We're talking about the police, whoever's supposed to be carrying out that execution. And I don't care who get vexed, who get lost. And they're going to tell me about, your tourism industry, right? America put sanctions on you, that kind of thing. Take cause out la. Okay?
But Andre, still, I hear what you're saying. But in a court of law, if he has a very good lawyer, unfortunately, he could walk. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But I'm saying if he's convicted, right, he's exhausted all his appeals and everything, right? No need to keep you there for me to feed you for 30 years of your life and to become a nuisance, and then you could possibly escape. You could probably cause a fight inside the place. People like that, you're better off going in the land of Oz.
And don't forget, even in prison, they still plan. So
exactly,
we still have to watch.
And
sometimes our prisoners,
them suckers, right, are paid. That's some paid assassin. Probably they're getting the money and they know what they're going for, and your palm may lay because at the end of the day they want to get paid. My gosh, when you see that, folks, when you see that for yourself, you see me say, right? people who probably against capital punishment will have second thoughts when they see those things.
But you also wonder if that same guy does not have a mother, a father,
Exactly.
a brother, a sister.
And a child too.
Yeah, to do something like that. They have no heart, Andre. It's about the money and it's about, I think, the power, because obviously they feel good. It's another number in their books. It's another 2 added to it, because it's 2 that day.
And to send the message to their enemies, we don't play.
Right.
We don't play.
Right, for sure.
My gosh, man. What? As I said, I read the thing, but when I actually saw it, I just put a different spin on this whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, people like that, right? You deserve a firing squad in your skin.
And Andre, there
Get
were so
rid of
many
you.
people
Get rid
at
of
the
you.
park.
Yes.
There were lots
People-
of people.
yeah, people was
began to
scampering.
scatter. Yes. That's why in the beginning I did not quite understand it when I first got it. Because I just saw people, I heard the bullets and I just saw people scattering and so on. And I'm like, this is a park. And then I had to start it again for me to take a look,
I wonder if somebody was recording or that's CCTV footage. I wonder if somebody is actually recording.
I think it is, because you notice it's a bit high. So it might probably be. And that's a good thing if it was.
I actually zoomed in just to get a better picture of what was taking place there.
Okay.
Wicked, man.
Andre, you
Evil.
really wanted to look at that video.
Yeah,
Wow.
evil man. I felt sorry for the
didn't
little
zoom
child.
at all.
I felt sorry for the little girl now, who now has lost her mother and her father.
So you zoomed in, so you know it's a little girl, because I couldn't tell if it's a girl or a boy.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
say, boy, what? Imagine that while, there are people there on this planet who are thinking of doing something good today, something good to somebody else. Somebody else is there planning. I've said that already, Lady Janice. I'll say it again. This world is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. That's why a lot of us don't even want to die, because we don't want to leave it. But it's also a very dangerous place.
It is dangerous, Andre. There is always hate. There is always some kind of person planning, plotting.
Yes.
Yeah, no matter what.
And sometimes you end up, and I don't say things about wrong place, wrong time. I don't say that, because you live in your life. Okay? You just happen to be in a place where maybe you see something, and whoever, maybe that guy...
Well, I don't think they mean it that way, Andre. Wrong place, wrong time simply means that you were probably having a cup of tea. You went in to have the cup of tea. It wasn't intentional to remain there and have your cup of tea. And that's when they shot the other person having the cup of tea, and possibly you got shot and killed. So when it comes out, it just says wrong place, wrong time. But I don't think it means that you can't live your life or that sort of thing. It just
No, I'm not saying that. In fact, I'm saying actually the opposite, that you're living your life. You're not in any wrong place at any wrong time. You're in the right place at the right time. This is what you've chosen to do. If today I say to myself, when I leave here, I'm going over to Massey. I'm not in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm living my life. And somebody decides now to do what that guy did there. And I end up being
part of it.
I end up getting shot or something.
They will still say that at the end, because that's not.
Well, they should take that back. They should take that back. That's saying about wrong place, wrong time. No, you live in your life. Anyway, so let me just talk about St. Lucia now. We had an incident there, a stabbing incident on Sunday. I saw pics of that as well. I saw that, and I didn't realize it was actually a stabbing. It was actually, I thought it was a shooting, actually, because a lot of blood and so on. But this happened in Monrepo, a place called Paris Drive, La Pointe in Monrepo. The guy is actually from that area. Now, the police only spoke about the deceased. They didn't speak about the perpetrator. So I don't know if anybody saw what was going on, if that was a fight the guys were involved in, or if maybe that deceased was like an intended target, that sort of thing, and a person decided to stab him as a way of dealing with whatever situation may be going on. We don't know as yet, but definitely somebody else or some other bodies were involved in that particular situation. So you have, a person there. He has a name. It's Jamil Joannes. So he was the one that was stabbed. So I don't know. I'm not even keeping pace with the number of homicides for the year so far. But I'm sure it's less than 10, I think, for the year so far, somewhere around there. Probably less than 10. But that's whatever the number it is just too much already anyway.
Yeah.
So the district rep for Mico North, that's Mr. Jeremiah Norbert, he's weighed in via Facebook.
Very good.
He says that our hearts are heavy. This is a painful moment for the families involved, for the children, and for every resident who calls this community home. This tragedy reminds us of how fragile life is
Yeah.
and how urgently we must recommit ourselves to peace, conflict resolution, and protecting our young people from cycles that hurt and violence.
Well said. Really nice.
Yeah.
Really kind words. Really soothing words. Very good.
So let's just talk a little about that. Okay, Lady J, as to why we resort, once we under some kind of pressure, okay, whatever that pressure may be, our first reaction is one where we are not nice. We are angry, and that anger is justified. We cannot get away from that. The anger is justified. But our response to the situation is to be, well, in that case, violent.
Use a weapon.
Yeah, in that case, is to be violent. Now, some other people are not violent. Some people use words.
Yeah.
Okay?
Or some people choose, Andre, to just walk away.
We'll get to that. I'm talking about those of us who are choosing either the words or behavior, certain types of behavior, because we are angry at that time, at that moment. And some of us go to extremes now, as in this case, where it involves violence to solve a problem. So, how do we control ourselves? Is that something that is planned, that you already say in your mind, if I ever get into a situation like that, this is not how I would behave? Or is it your upbringing, the way that you were, that the way your character was developed over the years, that each person now deals with the situation differently? Why can't most of us respond in a mature manner, in a calm manner? We always tend to fly up the handle and to say things and do things that hurt people, right, with our words and our actions, okay, our behavior, or we take it to another level, which is the violent way. And some people actually tell you that they're notorious. You know, police know them very, very well, that sort of thing. Some of us take a pride in being that way. So, you know, you put fear now in other people. Don't mess with me, that kind of thing. So I'm just wondering. You just asked the question a while ago.
All of them. All of them.
How do we now get to the point where if we are hurt, if we are upset, we are angry, that we can have the self-control not to respond in kind?
Violently. Well, Andre, I mean, you said some of them when you were asking the question, because it all starts possibly from home. What you saw as a kid growing up in the home, if you saw a lot of anger, a lot of fighting, a lot of weapons being used. You know, some people, they may not use the weapon, but they have the weapon in their hand. If you come any closer, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you know, you see that. And also, has that child been properly schooled through the years? You know? So, where you could have the home training and the school training, some of it didn't take place. Why? Because maybe that child, again, did not honor the values that was given in the home, and if the home wasn't given values. Because at school, Andre, we were given values, even from little school, what they call it, TABC,
Infant.
Nursery, then infant, and then primary, then secondary, and whoever goes to college, and what have you. So, and the values are there. The values are there. We are the ones that have to accept, understand, and put them into practice. Right? So, in the world, there will always be angry people, agreed, because we can't be all good people, nice people, fair people. There will always be the angry ones. But, Andre, the question always remains, why do you have to have a weapon on you if you are with a friend? Is it fear of something, that's why you must have a weapon? Or are you that sort of person, I always want to be ready? Because if he didn't have the weapon, nothing like this would have happened. So I mean, we have to take that into consideration and answer the question, why do they need a weapon always? Why do they always need a weapon?
Now, for some people, having a weapon is part of their employment. Okay? For example, somebody uses a cutlass to cut the grass or whatever. They just happen to have it with them. It doesn't mean that they're going to use it. How many times, Lady J, when we used to walk up in certain areas, you see fellas walking around with a cutlass.
Yeah.
But you could look at their demeanor and you could tell they're not troublemakers.
Violent.
You just look at there are others now that have a mean on their face. You know what I mean?
And then it's not covered because by right it's supposed to be covered.
in a sheath.
Yes. And it's not covered. So that's scary. Whether
So-
they are gardeners or not, I don't care, Andre. I'm still worried about it.
I remember
'cause it's
you
not covered.
you used to feel.
I questioned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever we walked, I questioned it. And I told you I'm keeping my eyes on him. And I'm walking with my eyes on him because you got to be ready, Andre.
yeah.
Got to be ready. Even if you can't, even if they end your life, but you've got to be ready somehow, you know?
So okay, so that's the person, who chooses the violent way. What about those who just choose the tongue to lash out?
Well, sometimes the tongue to laugh out makes the other person want to lash you. So
Yeah.
while it is, it's just words, and words, as they say, cut deep, and it can, tomorrow you're still thinking about the words, and in 20 years you're still thinking about it, but the cut that you get, you can still see the scar. So to me, it is similar, but of course that's the pain. It depends on how sensitive an individual is to continue thinking of how Andre described me and what Andre said to me, that hurt and blah, blah, blah. It's up to that individual. But Andre, if you cut me, that scar, especially if I have that sort of skin, that scar is going to remain for life. Just like you said, you have a scar, and you mentioned the guy, Andre, it might be in the subconscious, but you still remember it. Like when we
Yes.
spoke about it, it came to your forefront and you discussed it.
And a piece of advice, I think when you see we are upset, okay, or maybe we're not the ones who was upset, but somebody else that we know is upset, it's always wise to de-escalate the
If you can,
situation.
if they give you the opportunity.
Calm down. You know, the more times I tell people, calm down.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Relax,
Yeah.
relax, right?
Yeah.
And because I've found from experience that after you've calmed down, you see things differently.
True.
But in the moment, you just feel you just need to react and respond because you are angry at that particular point. My gosh,
But Andre,
man.
let me ask you a question. Is that from a child that you were the calm, cool, in control individual, or you against your values, or you with just the growth learned to cool out, calm, be calm?
Yes. A piece of advice the Apostle Paul gave a long time ago. When I was a child, I think like a child, or I thought like a child, and I acted like a child. But when I became a man, he says, I put away childish things. So we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to work on ourselves, right? So that we know how now to conduct ourselves in this world, that when those times, those trying and challenging times come, that we know how to handle it. And I just find that most of us just tend to react at the moment. We're not thinking and saying, let us just take it easy. We hear something, we believe it already, right? Somebody does us something, we respond, that sort of thing, instead of just taking it easy. In fact, you know what I do? I've even gone further now. Maybe you like that as well, where I remove myself from the situation.
Yeah.
Because
It's
I
like
don't want to hang around there.
Yeah.
Because if I hang around, there's no telling how I will react or what I will do.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm one of those.
I remove myself from the environment. I take myself out because I know as a human being sometimes you can't take it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really can't take it. But some of us now, we stay there. Right? We stay there.
Until it escalates,
Yeah.
and then, it becomes violent. I agree with that. But Andre, it takes a lot, because I'm not as cool as you. So it takes a lot, Andre. But when I'm out in public, I know that part I can control. Bye. And I'm gone. Yeah. A home is different. I probably want to see the end. You know what I mean? Because that's at home. But when I'm out, bye-bye. And if it's a good friend and we disagree with something and I have to say, hey, I agree to disagree, but it still escalates, as you say, then I say, you know what? It's time to go home. We'll talk. 3 days I ain't call you. Chill. And then after that, we're friends again. Because guess what? We will always remain friends, but we can agree to disagree. That is life. And I mean, agree to disagree in a conversation.
Yeah. Of course. Okay, well, we just sympathize with the family of this gentleman. We don't have any details as to what led to that situation, but it's a life that has been lost. And, the thing about death, and I've said so a million times already, Death is final.
That's it.
That's it
don't
for
come
you.
back. Yeah.
That's it for you. You're in some place there, away from you. Well, people who are alive. I don't know. I
The
wish we could
afterlife,
know.
we don't know.
What happens when you leave, right? But the Bible does give a little glimpse in saying that there's this chasm between the living and the dead, and nobody can cross over. You're in some place, you know, like the same way maybe we long to go and see what is over there, and there's just no way it can happen.
So what about those who say they can speak to the dead?
Well, I believe that can happen. I think that can happen. I think there have been instances of that already. Even the Bible records that, right? But the same way we cannot go to the people who have died, literally go to them and say, come back. I think the same way those who have died cannot come back either. You know, there's just no way. You understand what I'm saying? There's just no way you can do it. There's something that just blocks it. You know what I mean? It's a strange kind of thing. Makes you feel like you're in a twilight zone.
Reincarnation.
In a twilight
That
zone.
would be the only thing.
Anyway, okay. So, Lady J and our listeners and viewers, something happened there on Monday that is very, very, well, sorry, not Monday. I think that happened on Friday, Friday the 13th, right? There was some explosion that took place between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia. An explosion in the waters. Now, you know, what does it make you think of right away? I'm not saying that's what it is, but that was a serious explosion. Even the Prime Minister weighed in, the Minister for Tourism, he weighed in as well.
All prime ministers or our prime minister?
Our Prime Minister weighed in on this issue. He says he doesn't have any details, he doesn't know exactly what's going on, you know, but they're waiting maybe for official information, confirmation, whatever. But we know what's been going on in the Caribbean waters, in the Pacific over the last few weeks, right? You have the U.S. now, again, you know, playing world police and so on. Trump says is to protect the U.S. from narco terrorists and this sort of thing. In the case of Maduro, you know, boldface lie, said the man was sending fentanyl to the U.S. That was a lie. It was just a lie, boldface lie. Then they changed it now to cocaine, right? I'm so curious to know what's going to happen to that trial when Maduro goes on trial. I'm going to be following that very closely. My fear is, will he get a fair trial in the U.S.? Will he get a fair trial? I hope so.
Lawyer up and then we'll see.
So, yeah, Lady J. So an explosion. Now, there's one of the fishermen's cooperatives. They weighed in on the issue, saying, listen, you know, our fisher folk need to be careful.
Yes.
Because the U.S., if that's the case, they're not asking any questions, you know. Once they see a boat and it looks like you're a narco-terrorist, the fellas just have their drones. They follow you. No matter how fast you are, you can't be faster than those rockets. Okay? And they take you out, no questions asked, whether before or after. And then now they come now without any shame, and they parade the video for you to see. They have no shame, no fear that one day that may be used in a court of law against them, because they figure they're immune. They're immune to prosecution.
So let's find out what really happens I guess within a week we'll find out.
Fisher folks have to be careful, because remember in Trinidad there were at least two guys who were fishing, and the family said the guys are not involved in any kind of narco-terrorism, this sort of thing. They're not in, that is what the family. In fact, remember the families. I think two of them or one of them, they're suing the Trump administration.
Okay.
Yeah, over this particular matter, because they said the guy was innocent. And there have been instances where certain people survived, and when they did the investigations, the people had nothing to do with that.
Amen to that.
So I think so far,
Yes.
130 some people have been killed in these operations already. This is crazy. I mean, we're not used to that kind of thing. And CARICOM has said this over and over. We are a zone of peace. You just come in there just so, flexing your muscles.
It's like one man wants to take over the world.
And you know what they quick to say? No U.S. military personnel were harmed.
Yeah.
They like to say that.
Yeah. They do.
Now, you're telling me a narco boat is in the waters someplace, and you using a drone, you're staying miles away, and you talk about your personnel were not harmed, you know?
Of course. They're not harmed miles away.
What can these people do to you? They can't fight you. They can't do anything.
But usually, Andre, they drop in, like if it's on land, they drop some men dropped down. So you say none of them dropped into the water to make sure it was what it was?
No.
Wow.
No. The only time they did anything like that was when they took, I think, a few of the vessels, those ships carrying oil from Venezuela. Oh, that one. Oh, yes. And I said to myself, look, America's proudest. That's what y'all are doing? You saw it with Houthis. That's what the Houthis do. The Houthis go on a boat and commandeer the boat and say, you're not going to so-and-so waters and we're stopping you, this sort of thing. And then you feel so proud that you have gone and you take Maduro, right? You can do that and you feel proud that there are no deaths, no personnel from the U.S. who die. You feel proud about something like that? Maduro, Venezuela can't fight you, okay? This thing gets me so angry when I think about it, man. That's what you call lavatage.
3 more years.
And talking about lavatage, right? We're finding out now in Cuba that garbage now is piling up all over the place in Cuba, and that started since last year because again the garbage trucks are not able to come and pick up the garbage. I mean,
a lot is happening.
Is Donald Trump? You proud of that? That this is what you're actually causing? You're causing people to be in that kind of situation. Now you know what? If this thing continues, you know what's going to be happening. You have mass exodus of people, of Cubans who are leaving now and heading to other places, and most probably the United States, where they will be stopped.
Yep.
Yeah, where they're going to be stopped because the people cannot survive in that kind of environment. After a while, it's going to become really unbearable. In fact, Jamaica and Trinidad, they wrote their students in Cuba telling them, listen, we advise you to come home because it may get to the point now where you will not be able to leave. And strange enough, the students are saying, no, they're not staying.
Well, Andre, could be for 2 reasons: that they are not feeling any fear at the moment because it's safe where they are, or, they need to finish that education, whether it's another year or what. I mean, how would you feel if you were over there?
Yeah.
If you feel safe, then hold on, because are they making provisions for these students to finish whatever degree they went for? I mean,
well, I know in the case of Trinidad, and most likely simply, in fact, I'm sure all the islands are doing the same thing. They're sending food and stuff for the, you have families who are sending things over. I'm sure of that.
And they always did that. They always send food to the families in Cuba.
But I mean, man, just so, and the whole idea is that the whole system there will just come crumbling down. Yeah. Okay? Now,
3 more years,
the opposition headed now, because governments now, you have governments who are in a very, very tight position, Lady J, and our listeners and viewers, because they are afraid to speak out for a number of reasons. You cannot really blame them because they don't want sanctions being imposed against them and their families. Like, they can't travel to the U.S. if they speak out and say something. So I think I can understand the reason for them not doing that. But the opposition have nothing to lose in a sense. So you have the opposition in Jamaica now speaking out against what's going on in Cuba, and they said that there must be a response. He didn't say not only from the region, they said the wider world, the international community.
I think so.
They should speak out against what's going on.
If all the countries and all the nations speak up and get together, Trump is not going to spend 3 years there. I can tell you that. 3 more years there. I can tell you that. So something's definitely holding some of them back. And we'll see what happens within this year.
Yeah. So I lost my train of thought there.
You were just talking about the people. You were talking about the persons, some of the countries who are not.
Yes, saying anything. And now you have the opposition now saying, listen, because I don't think the region is powerful enough to cause any change. It has to come from the international community. Okay?
I agree.
Most likely from a United Nations point of view. sorry. You have China. You have those countries like Russia and so on to speak out against what's going on there. Otherwise, this is just going to continue. Now again, Lady J, I was saying this morning we're talking about being cruel to animals and things like that, right? And I cannot see myself being cruel to an animal. I cannot do it. Okay. And the same thing I cannot see how I can be deliberately cruel to another human being, and I can't see how I can be cruel to a country because I have the power to bring that country down to its knees. And in the ensuing bringing down to its knees, you have people who are suffering and hurting. Okay? And for you to tell me you can sleep well at nights, that doesn't bother you in any kind of way. You can go home and make love to your wife, and your wife can hold you, embrace you, and make love to you as well, knowing the goon that you are.
That part might not be happening, Andre, but I hear you. But Andre, if you brought up that way, it's okay for them because that's how he's brought up. No compassion. So, I mean, we can see that. Look how easy it was, even if it was a show, The Apprentice. Remember how easy it was for him to say, you're fired. It was so easy for him to say.
And we thought that was a joke, you know. We thought that was like a joke.
Yeah, it was easy for him to say.
That's how the man, that's how he is. I mean, and yeah. And then you have the Pete Hegseths and those kinds of people who are coming and showing you the videos as to what they're doing. And you're telling me you're going home and your wife can hold you and make love to you? Benjamin Netanyahu, you're killing little children. You're murdering little children. You are deliberately starving people. And you're telling me you there by your husband, stand by your side, what's what they call stand by your man?
And
what?
And Andrew, I think the worst part is, yes, they have to go, but it's how long they're going to be on the earth. However, it's who they training to become them. That is the worst part. You know, who are they training to become them? Because if you notice, those people that are around Trump, they all like what he's doing, accepting what he's doing. And that is the most worrisome thing, to be honest.
Yes, and making excuses and so on and lying. It's like they've sold their souls.
And you wonder why, if it is their paychecks.
Yeah, I'm sure it has that. I remember Tony was saying so one time. I was saying to Tony, how come there's this particular black lady who used to be at the United Nations representing the U.S. and vetoing resolutions that would say stop the fighting? And I said, but how could a black woman who's supposed to understand her history go and side with this kind of thing? And Tony said something. He said to me, these are people who've been longing to have that kind of position. Now, they never imagined it would ever get to that stage. When they long for the position, you are going at the United Nations. That's a prestigious job, a black person
so
achieving
I'll take it
that.
no
You
matter
understand?
who is in charge.
But when the reality sets in now, that sometimes you have to do somebody's dirty work, they don't have the gonads to say, I don't want that job. I remember Tony was saying that. These people have worked hard to get to that position.
Agreed, but still they have a family, and your family could be taken down. So do you want that? So you have to think, because people will get angry and start taking out people.
Yes.
And the innocent ones are always the first ones to go.
And you have, listen, by the way, we have the situation in Sudan that is bad. It is really, really bad. You have two groups. You have the Sudanese military, because they had a coup. So once you see you have military ruling a country, military leaders deal with things in a military way. That's just the way that they're trained. These people don't know about negotiating and try to understand and showing compassion. They just train like to be hard, right? Okay, so you have the Sudanese military, and then there's this other organization called the Rapid Support Forces. Now, all of these were friends. They now helped to topple, I think it was Bashar al-Assad. I believe that he was there at the time. So they helped to topple this guy. So they had a coup. But not long after that now, partners in crime, they turned against each other. And they've been fighting ever since. And the fighting is brutal. So they're both now targeting civilians. And of course, this, modern warfare using drones and so on. They know people are in a market, for example. So you have many civilians there, children.
Or in the mosque or in the church.
Yeah, they target those things. So you have both the military and the opposition, these fellas, the rapid response forces, basically just going tit for tat. So it's a power play. They all vying for power. And no one wants to say, okay, let's stop that, fellas. Let's calm down. Let's take it easy. Let my right become my wrong. Things like that. Oh wow!
Everyone wants to stay up in there in the power. Andre.
So a lot of people are being killed.
As you say, they get the opportunity. So we're going to remain here and rule, which is unfortunate for a lot of innocent people.
Imagine they were friends. These guys were partners, as their partners in crime, and because now. Maybe that one want to be colonel, that one want to be prime minister, and that one say, no, you can't do that. You don't qualify for that position. So now they've broken up. So now they're fighting each other now. So God knows how long this is going to last. This is taking place in Sudan, folks. All right, Sudan. Okay, well, just finally, when you compare that kind of hardened heart to another heart, which is nice and soft and pliable. There was a lady who was driving with her 3 children. That's in Florida, and she lost control of. Well, something happened, and she lost control of the vehicle, and the vehicle went into a canal, and water was gushing. So this guy who was driving in front of them, he was checking his rearview mirror. He saw when the lady just all of a sudden she just sped, right, a little more, and then she just swerved. The vehicle swerved and went into that canal. So he stopped his vehicle and he went back to help. And when he got in, he actually was able to open the door. The children, there were 3 children there crying, asking him to help, and so on. So he made sure he got them to safety, and then he went back now to get the mother, who was already unconscious, and water had already covered her. Yeah, yes. So he came there just in time. So he said that the lady wasn't breathing. So I guess he gave her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation at that particular point in time, and the lady's life came back into her. And of course, paramedics arrived.
Amen.
Yes, and the lady was taken to a hospital, and the children now just say minor injuries, minor injuries.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So he said that he knew that God had his back while he was doing what he was doing there. He said he knew that God was helping him. And the lady now, what caused that? She had a seizure while she was driving.
Right. Amen. Thank goodness he was in the area. That would have been it. All 4 of them.
Exactly. Okay, so
the one person that could have saved them had the seizure. So
yes, exactly. Yeah. And that kind of reminds us of what we spoke about last week with the lady
boy.
And the children in the waters on the kayak and so on.
And knowing how to swim and what is best to do.
Yes, boy, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one for you to make up your mind to say which child will go and get help, or you leave them there and go and get help. Oh my gosh, that was a rough one. Okay, all right. So, Lady J, let's get into the shout-outs. All right, so folks, this is Harddrive for today, Tuesday, the 17th of February. Okay, just a little reminder that as of Friday, the REV-UP St. Lucia Top 10 Homegrown will be hosted by Hassani Wilson, who is Zen the DJ. That's this coming Friday.
Okay.
And then, of course, next week, Monday, REV-UP the Homegrown is going to be once a week, every Monday, with Zen the DJ.
Well, so, it's today. It's Monday and Tuesday. So today's the final day then.
No. Later this week, because we just got the promos.
I mean, today is Homegrown. Monday and Tuesday.
That's what you mean. Okay,
so
right.
today would be the final day.
Yeah,
and then next week.
The final day that you'll be hosting.
Right. Yes.
All right, so from next week, it's going to be Zen the DJ taking care of REV-UP the Homegrown.
Yay, Zen. Yay. Oh, I listened to the beginning of his show, and it was really good because he was pumping a lot of Trinidad music, because yesterday, Monday and Tuesday, today's the final day.
Yes.
Tomorrow, by the way, Andrew, remember, is Ash Wednesday.
Oh, yes. Getting into the Lenten season.
Because we no longer have Carnival in February, so we tend to forget. But it still happens in some other countries, including Trinidad. Yeah. All right, let's check our messages. Dakota looks like the first one. She says, good morning with 2 hearts. Thank you, Dakota. Love that.
Morning, Dakota Maguire. Hope all is well.
And Sharon Peter, she says, happy Tuesday. Yes.
Okay, Sharon.
And Sharon Peter also says, Lady J, bonjour. Bonjour, Sharon Peter. Appreciate that. And may have Pius. He says, good morning. Good morning, Pius.
Morning, Pius.
And let's see what we have. I think after Pius, we have Irene. Yes.
Hey there, Irene. Hope all is well.
I have lots of things coming on this. Yes, let me give it a little bit. People, hold on a minute. Yes, I'm trying to get those messages, Andre. They're moving on me. Don't know why. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. So Irene was the next one. Irene says, good morning to all listeners, Lady J and Andre. Good morning, Irene. Kisses to you. And Norma Plant says, good morning to all. Have an amazing day. Good morning, Norma. Lucita Jean-Pierre, she says, good morning, Andre and Lady J.
Morning,
terrific
Lucita.
Tuesday to all. She also says, good morning, everyone, on live and Radio Garden. Share the link. She pushes that a lot, the Radio Garden link.
Yes.
She pushes it a lot. Appreciate that. Yes, and She Chub says to Ian Ale, Crime Watch is already investigating it. So I guess she's talking about Trinidad and the situation with the man and woman.
I hope so. I really hope so. I wish they catch that sucker.
Andre.
Yeah.
And A.G. Simpson. Good morning, A.G. He says, great show as usual. Good
Thank you,
morning,
A.G. And thanks for being a loyal fan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, he's followed you, Andre. That's good. Clara Sammy says, thankful Tuesday to all.
Hey,
Clara.
Mrs. Sammy. Hope all is well with you and your family, especially the great one, Darren Sammy and his lovely wife. What's her name again?
Kathy.
Kathy, yes, Kathy. So morning to the entire family and to the patriarch as well.
Now, Arlette Richard says, blessed day, Andre and Lady J. Arlette.
All right, Arlette. Thank you very much.
You. Barbara Augustine says, good morning, my REV-UP family. Yeah, good morning to you. She chimes in again and says, exactly, they always claim they don't know anything. And Lucita, the people of Venezuela are happy Maduro is not their leader, and some Lucians are upset about what happened to him. Moi-même, Jane, Andre.
Okay, Jane.
And no, what she's saying is that she was talking about some of the people being happy that Maduro is no longer there. Now, Lucita also says, good morning, my darling. So that's somebody she's talking to there. And She Chub says, I just don't get it. Even Andre upset we.
At what?
I guess Cuba, Venezuela, what's happening. Yeah, because I don't know what time, that they chimed in. Okay, so must be the people of Venezuela and so on. Yeah, it is that. Yeah, Chub. I myself, that's She Chub. I myself happy Maduro is out of Venezuela. Okay. Kenton Harry. I haven't seen that name, Andre. I don't know if it's a new one. Have you come across this one?
Yes, of course.
Kenton, okay. Says that's the result of man years of turning blind. It should be blind. He says blind. So I think it's blind. He meant eye to our drug issue and treating drug dealers like kings and queens. We never cared about the families who are affected by drugs. All we do is get emotional about everything and forget that the Lord will. Let me see. Will what? Let's see. The Lord will use who he wants as his instruments to do his will, just as he used, what's that? Nebuchadnezzar. What's that? What's it?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh boy, that's his spelling.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. His spelling here. Okay. To carry Israel into captivity. That's what he says. Yes. Yeah. So Lucita says, I know not Trump alone that is a bad leader. There are a lot of leaders in the Caribbean, wicked undercover. If you are not supporting them, you don't get the help you deserve. Hypocrisy. I don't think there's any leader in the Caribbean that is as terrible as the one we're talking about thus far. Yeah. Erin Shalmine says, last day of battle relay, Central Castries, so I am distracted. Okay, Erin, we still appreciate you being under our live. We appreciate that, but we know that you enjoy watching battle relay. Also, today's the last day. Yeah, that's true. Central Castries. So Arthur Charles, Andre, good. You know what Good morning to you folks. Today is the birthday of the following persons: Mrs. Alice Stephen of the Mon, and Clemina Anius James of Corinth. Well, happy birthday to Alice Stephen and Clemina Anius James, Andre. Yeah, I think that's what we have here. I think that's what we have, yes. Thus far on the WhatsApp platform. Yes, Andre.
You sure that's all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here.
All right.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay, let's go.
Arthur Charles seemed to be the last one. Maybe some will pull up, but that's what I'm seeing now. Yeah. Yes. there any? We'll see. So let's see on the platform now, Andre. That's our WhatsApp platform. Let's see what we have here. See the time. Some of them belong to the previous show. So there's 10:06. Good morning, Andre. What's up? At Janice, message. This is St. Lucian number. We're good. Thank you. And 272. I don't know. Okay, that's a call from this number. Let me see. This person says, hi, there's a daycare for the elderly in Leclerc opposite the playing field. Not sure of the name, so you can check it out. Yeah, I'm aware of that daycare if it's still happening, but we were talking about, I don't think this is government run, is it?
In fact,
we'll have to find out.
Actually, I've never seen any movement inside there.
Yeah, there is one there.
I'm not saying there's not. I've never seen anybody going in there nor coming out. I've never seen it.
I don't know if it's still happening, Andre, but while I was at Radio 100, I did interview her. That was Miss Albert set that up. I remember that well. And that's how I got to know about it. Whether it's happening now, I think I'll have to take a drive and check the building.
You must check. You must check it out.
But it's opposite the playing field.
Yeah. I live there, so I know. So you must go there, go and you must let her come and report and tell us whether you see anybody inside. I've never seen a single soul inside.
I'm not saying this afternoon.
There's nothing that happens, though. Misunderstand me. I've just never seen anybody at that particular location. Never.
Well, I mean, they're elderly, so they have to stay inside. So what you're saying is you never see anybody going
in, coming out. Okay. I've never seen anything like that.
They would have to remain inside. I think the building for me is not conducive. Why? Because of the stairs. And if we're talking about elderly, we need to be on the flat, no stairs whatsoever. But I guess that is where they got. But what we were talking about this morning is if it is a government run daycare. So I don't know if this one is government run. So that's what we were talking about. But thanks for the information anyway. And this is a 268 number. Julian again, he says, bless up REV-UP family, Andre and Lady J. Have a great day. Julian, hey, he made sure to say that. Okay, Julian, good morning to you. Andre, your friend from Antigua, Julian.
Oh, okay, my partner. I think he says he's coming to St. Lucia soon.
Oh, Andre, you need to check that. This person says at 10:32. Good morning, you're off the air in Vieux-Fort.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Oh, you're aware of it? Okay. So, all
some
right.
internet issues.
All right. This is a local number as well. Wonderful morning to you, Lady J and Andre. Hope you guys have a beautiful day ahead. I miss Kiki. Kiki, if you're listening, wonderful morning to you. Okay, yes. I'm sure she's listening. Andre, may I ask you, what is a coup?
What is a coup? Yeah.
I'm not sure if I spelled the word right. No, you didn't, but it's okay. I was able to read it. Locked in as always. Lorena.
Okay. Well, they're what you call bloody coups and bloodless coups. Basically, when you take over a government by force.
That's right.
Now, sometimes,
like they did with Grenada.
Yeah. Sometimes, you have the people who rise up. Okay. And these are like what you say, for the most part, bloodless. And then you have those now when people rise up, the people and whoever is there in power, man, they fight you tooth and nail. Yeah, a lot of civilians get killed in those things. A lot of civilians get arrested and so on. Yeah, so basically it is the force. In other words, you're not going to the electorate to have the people decide whether they want you or not. You taking it upon yourself, right, to take over. Now, sometimes you have a situation where you're lucky and you have some people who say, okay, they're going to have elections in 2 years' time, that sort of thing.
And the others cannot wait or whatever.
Right, and there's some now, although they tell you they'll have elections in 2 years, when the time comes now, they don't want to leave. That happens a lot. Yeah, you get the sweet taste of that power, boy. Yeah, things good.
Yes. It's sweet taste of the power.
Yes.
All right, this person says, Jesse Jackson passed away. Yes, we mentioned that. Andre mentioned that earlier. Sad. May he rest in peace. Very informative man. I mean, he knew his work. He did a lot of work. He knew a lot about his black people, and he was always informing us, especially when he would be on, television. So he will be missed. Great deal. Tomorrow is also the beginning of Ramadan. Oh yes. And Andre and Lady J, what do you think an 18-year-old girl would do with an unlicensed firearm? That was yesterday's conversation, But she put it in today, Andre. remember yesterday you were talking about the 18-year-old? So she put that question in here today.
What is it?
She says, "Oh yeah, Andre and Lady J, what do you think an 18-year-old girl would do with an unlicensed firearm?"
Mm-hmm. But the question was, do we put the pic? That's what I was asking.
Well, I think she's answering that.
Do we expose them?
Yeah, that was your question, but she's saying this, meaning that I guess she's saying that is why she got her photo splashed.
So if you have your daughter, she's 18, and she happens to get herself in that kind of situation, and they splash her photo all over the place, you be cool with that?
Andre, no, because it's my daughter.
Exactly.
But Andre,
Exactly.
but Andre, you got to be fair. It's like, why did you put yourself in that position? So until I know why she had the gun or why she was with the group, it has to be what it is, Andre.
No, the point I'm making to you is that we wouldn't like it. We wouldn't
Andre,
like.
but that is.
And you just admitted. Admitted that you wouldn't like it, and that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it because I'm a parent.
I'm saying exactly. Is that the right way to deal with that situation? I'm saying it's not necessary. It's not necessary to post a picture in public. It's just not necessary.
Well, I mean, when you Andre, the thing is, people are talking badly about you and they post your photo, and half of what they're saying or all of what they're saying is incorrect.
Yeah.
But because people see it, they have already forwarded what they have seen. So it's the same thing. This one, they felt had a gun and she shouldn't have a gun. We're talking about the news. Let's let you know who Jane Brown is, you know? And that's why the photo isn't there. And I say Jane Brown. I'm not saying Jane. That's who we know. So I'm just using a name. The person also goes on to say, yes. How many people did that gun kill? Andre, she's taking you on.
Yeah, but
yes. How many people did that gun kill?
But answer
she
the
should
question.
have known better. Is it necessary?
Right. But that's still, I'm not justifying her actions. Don't misunderstand me. I'm asking a simple question. If that were your daughter who did something like that, okay, would you be okay with her picture being splashed all over the place? That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying it's not necessary. It doesn't help the situation when you post her picture.
Faster. Yeah.
That's the one I'm saying.
But
I think people are conflating the two, thinking as I'm saying, well, I'm justifying her actions. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying to post her picture is totally unnecessary. It doesn't help in any way.
Well, I think they do that.
Except give us, some kind of thrill. Oh, that's her that day. Oh, she shouldn't get involved in drugs.
Yeah. Well, that's, some people would look at it that way. Other people would look at it in the news style way, which is, what are you doing with a gun, and why do you have a gun in the first place? And that's the question that I would ask as a parent.
Yes, and Lady J,
yes.
and that will come. That will come.
But how would we know if they don't say it?
But that has nothing to do with the girl's picture. That's the point I'm making.
But
that's an 18-year-old.
I understand that, Andre, and I just
You know what governments are doing right now? The direction that they're heading in? To expunge people's records for having marijuana, this sort of thing.
I agree.
Because this thing messes you up.
Or stealing a little bit of cheese from work and so on.
It messes you up.
Yeah.
It does. And who's to say the girl was involved in anything directly? She would have just been, maybe that's her boyfriend or something. I mean, something. I'm just saying, maybe somebody she just started knowing. I don't know.
So basically what you're saying, Andre, is until these reporters have the 100% news that the picture should not be splashed.
I don't think
it
shouldn't be splashed, period.
Even if she's found guilty?
Of an 18-year-old. No, it's not.
So, okay, so if
it's unnecessary.
Okay, so let's say that gun was in a hold-up with her. I'm not saying she did it. I'm just saying, what if that was, and as they have arrested her or what have you, they finding that out. You're saying her picture, because she's 18, should not be splashed?
Well, that is in other words, you have a trial, okay, and the person has been convicted. That's a different situation. But the girl has not been convicted of anything.
Okay, so I get you.
Okay.
I understand you now, but you didn't say that yesterday.
Well, you should have asked.
I did ask you. I asked you if you know the rest of the story, Andre.
No, you just put a scenario there for me, right?
But that's the rest of the story.
Yeah, you put a scenario about whether if she's convicted. That's a different thing. The girl has not been convicted of anything. I'm saying this is a young lady. Until that time there, why are you posting the girl's picture? And our people, we're just so quick. We're just so quick to, because it's not us. We're not the ones going through it at the time there. Okay, this is a young lady, made a bad choice and so on. Don't make things any worse for her. One time I remember we had a story at HDS where we showed some fellas who were being, I think they held the guys against a wall, and the police was searching them, right? Was searching them, and that was part of like the trailer for the news. So every day you'd see that part, and they show you, just a quick pic of the thing. And I remember one of the guys that they were searching. He came to me and he said to me, Andre, there's something you all show every evening, and I'm involved there. I just happen to be in the area there. I was not involved in anything, directly. And every time you all show that, I cannot, people are bringing this thing up. I can't get a job. I can't, that sort of thing. So it's just a small place. It's a small place. We must think about those things. What satisfaction do you get from seeing a picture? Is there some satisfaction in that?
Wait. Close what you just said there. So did you all pull it out?
Yes, of course. Right away.
Okay.
Right away.
Good.
Right away. Right away. And thank God, there are people who are humble enough to realize, for true, we shouldn't be doing that sort of thing.
No, I mean, Miss Albert was one of those, for sure.
Yeah.
She was a listener.
Yeah.
Definitely. For that. Well, she still went on to say she should have known better. It is necessary. She is of age. You have to stop it at some point in time. So her picture should be put out there.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so that's her opinion, Andre, and we can't stop people with their opinions.
Definitely. Carry on.
I don't know what this is. IDI. I don't know what that is. Armin, IDI or LDI. Amin was a good example of revolution.
Oh, Idi Amin.
Oh, that's how we spell it.
Yeah, Idi Amin.
Wow. Some people on. Yeah, I'm not supposed. I can't. Yeah, I guess. I think that's it, Andre. Yes. Let's see. I feel when they cannot spell, they should just spell it how they pronounce it, so it would be okay. Yeah, because it's difficult to read. Yes, Andre.
Okay, so we're wrapping up.
Yes.
Just before we wrap up, the BBC, they're expecting to make some savings, right, of around 10% of their cost over the next 3 years. And basically they're saying, and it's not unusual, we're hearing that often. Remember we spoke about, I think, Newsday in Trinidad and Tobago, how they shut down. Again, not enough ads and so on to keep them going.
No, I think it's shutting down this week, no?
Oh.
The Newsday. It shut down already?
I think last week they shut down. Maybe they had a farewell party and so on. But anyway, they said same thing again. The BBC is saying here that in a rapidly changing media market, we continue to face substantial financial pressures. In a rapidly changing media market. A lot of people now, this social media thing, a lot of people are choosing to advertise there. There's some people who don't want to hear anything about advertising on radio, right? There's so many things that are working against media houses in this current environment. Companies that slashing, costs and things that they would have borne in the past. Now they're saying, hey, we can't keep taking these, taking up the cost of providing a particular service. So now you have to pay for it. So these things are adding a lot more pressure on media owners, and now you have to be constantly thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, this is a fast-changing environment. Thank God in St. Lucia, still have quite a few people who like their radio. They like their radio. So now you find now a lot of media houses now have to try to balance now the radio with the online and the Facebook and all that. But all these things cost money.
True.
Now, you're there trying to provide a service because you want to meet your people where they are. And then in providing that service, it comes at a humongous cost because you have all these additional costs, plus you have regular costs and so on. And then you have people now telling you, well, they will advertise on social media. They don't. They don't listen to radio. You hear those things.
You hear that. But the thing is, sometimes on social media, you're not even sure if it's jigsaw or not. You're not even sure if it's real. So even if I read it on social media, Andre, I still have to go and check like you did this morning when we spoke about Beyonce. Because we're not sure if on Facebook it's correct. We're not sure if it's the truth. So we still leave that and go and make sure that this is correct news, So I feel when you hear it from the radio stations, 99.999% it is correct, So,
that's the advantage.
Andre, somebody chimed in again and says, good morning all. The adult legal age is 18 years. So if it's not okay for the pick of the lady, why is it okay for the males? Gender equality.
No, but I would say the same thing. Whether it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. There's a young
the
person
age.
that's there. It's a young person. And the young people, folks, we're acting as though, we have always made wise choices. And that's a problem that we have. We always think that we, the adults, have always made wise choices. We never made a faux pas. We never made a bad choice. So we don't even allow children the little latitude to make a little mistake, or to make a big mistake for that matter. So many mistakes we have made already, so many bad choices.
Well, let's hope
we've
that's
made.
the first mistake, Andre, because we don't know until we hear the end of that story.
Well,
When
we
I
don't
hear
know.
you,
We don't know.
I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I do understand what the listeners are saying, because 18 is the age, and they show it even in the States. You see the young people's photos, Andre.
In the States, they show you
Yeah,
young
when
people's
the-
photos.
when the young- when-
Only I
if they
know
do something.
if they get found guilty of something, not
See it
before that. Not before
I
that.
see it before that.
Okay.
I see it before that, before they found guilty. Once they do it, they show it.
Let me tell you,
I've never seen them
some
blurring the photos.
jurisdictions. You know, they don't even show the face of a perpetrator
Yeah, I realize
out
that.
of an abundance of caution that the people, when they see the face of the perpetrator, they will make the link and know exactly who that perpetrator was messing around with. Okay?
You're right for that. Yeah. But
We
I
like
think
that. We
the
like
news,
the drama.
I think
we like the drama.
Exactly, Andre.
We like
and
it.
people are going to watch
We like
that
it. You know why? Because
station.
because it's not our child. That's why we like it. We see somebody's in an accident, okay, and they in a very compromising position. We watch it. We imbibe. If you see it's our family, that's something totally different.
Yeah,
Our
we
reaction
say-
is different.
we say, stop sending that video.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. We don't even want to talk to the media. We don't want to talk to the media because it's us now. It's hit home. So I know, the
I
way
hear
we
you.
are.
I hear you, but I mean, I'm not going to say you 100% right.
No, I'm
But-
not saying 100%.
But I think the persons who chimed in, they're also right as well. 18 is the age, and maybe splashing it might have been a little too premature, but still, it's in the news. Where did they get it from? Maybe they got it from the police, but you're right. Maybe they went and looked for the photo in order to post. So what you're saying is that it could make the news, but just give the name and no photo. Is that what you're saying?
At that age, whether male or female. And as I said, we are moving in the direction where now people are looking to expunge these records because young people now are being adversely affected. They've made a bad choice. They smoke a joint. They got arrested. Okay, and we hold that against them. And it's been so for years and years. Until now, you have more progressive people now who are saying, hey, we need to move away from that kind of thing.
True.
We cannot keep that against a young person who made a bad choice how many years ago. They moved on in their life. And this thing is like dogging them. They can't even get a job. They can't travel. They can't do anything. Is that what we want for society?
Well, that's sad. If it's a joint and you have the information in front of you that was the reason why
That's the law.
XYZ.
It's the law.
XYZ. No.
It's the law.
XYZ was arrested for a joint and the person comes for a job and you're preventing them from getting a job because it was a joint.
Yeah, they have a criminal record. That's the point. They've broken the law. Okay, the law says you're not allowed to. And the person said, he made a decision, right, at age 18 to go against the law. So we're supposed to hold that against them forever and ever and ever. Okay? That's a
So
young
let's-
person.
let's-
And I want to repeat something, Lady J. We as adults, forgetting that we have made very, very bad choices. Up to now, as adults, we are still making poor choices in our lives. We do it constantly. But we do not allow the children to make a mistake.
Point. That's a point.
Alrighty. So, what do you have coming up for us today, Lady J?
Oh, well, we have Michael Robinson who's going to be in the house
All right.
today.
Oh, yes. One of our good singers, great singers here in St. Lucia.
Yes,
Yeah.
Andre. So he's going to be talking about his new song.
What's it called?
It's called Champion. I think he was inspired by Julian Alfred and, her
All right.
achievements.
Is it his usual R&B type of vibe? Or
It's a little mix
A
because it sounds a little, his voice. He has
Yeah, he
that
has this-
R&B
yeah,
voice.
right, exactly.
But it has the soca sort of
okay.
rhythm in between, yes.
I'll be playing that tomorrow for sure.
Yes, should have it there. Champion, yes. Yeah, and then the usual. And Andre, today I think I'm going to talk about, because he's coming in at about 12. So at 2, we don't have an interview. So I think I'll take that time to talk about either dementia, which I think is important, or something else. But I'm thinking more on dementia. I think a lot of people want to know, and we also spoke about it, So I think I'll take that time at 2 o'clock to do that.
I think so. That sounds very interesting. All right. Okay. So that's what's happening.
Yeah.
On
And then we have the homegrown right after this until 12:30 for this week. As you say, it ends this week.
Yes. So from this Friday, Send the DJ will be hosting REV-UP, the top 10 homegrown. Okay, that's
Nice.
coming up this coming
I look
Friday.
forward to that, Zen. I know it's going to be hot.
Yes, when Zen does the thing, boy, it's something else. Last
He's so
year,
passionate.
Last year, about the time of the when the elections were called, and the Labour Party and the United Workers Party had really, just like the last lap, and they were putting out a lot of stuff out there, including those songs, which were really, really, really innovative, I must admit. And both sides had songs, promoting their
I agree. It was good
the
this year.
contenders.
The artists,
The
artists did a
It
good
was
job.
really good. And imagine Mr. Hassani, in his inimitable style, was there mixing the songs,
Oh, really? Wait. What do you mean mixing? Mixing the same song or mixing opposition with...
No. Because, he's good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the man,
So he put a little twist.
I would say which one. But one of the party said to me, "Man, we loved what your son was doing, man."
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
So he was there
nice.
mixing the stuff. Yeah, that was really cool.
Nice. He put his own twist, of
That's
course.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I'm sure he'll put his own twist on Rev of the
Oh,
Homegrown.
definitely.
Okay, Lady J, well, that's it for me. Have yourself a great show as always. So, folks, Lady J will be with us until 3 o'clock this afternoon. From 3 until 6, Zen the DJ will be here. And I'll be back, God willing, from 6 until 7 this evening with Dr. Leonard Suraj for Doctor in the House.
Yeah.
That's on Rev-UP St. Lucia every Tuesday evening. And, folks, as I said, it's not a sexy kind of program. It's not. It's more about information and so on, health and so on, right? But it's just a pity, a lot of people are not really attracted to that sort of thing because you're missing out on a lot. Because there's a lot of information. Every week I get something I take away with me. Every week there's something he says.
Yeah, and the times that I've been in traffic, I'm listening. Very good. Even my sister was here for a weekend once and we were in traffic. And it was interesting. She said so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my sister is a professor, right? So if she says it was interesting,
All right.
Andre, she is telling the truth.
Okay, so Leger, thank you very much for the company. So this has been Harddrive for today, Tuesday, the 17th of February, brought to you with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
At Randallie's Funeral Parlor, we truly care. During life's most difficult moments, we want you to know you are not alone.
At Ram Bally's, we are dedicated to providing dignity, compassion, and comfort when you need it the most.
Our caring team is here to walk with you every step of the way, whether it's in planning a gentle farewell or celebrating the beautiful life of your loved one.
We understand how precious they are, and we promise to honor their memory with the utmost respect and love.
Let us help you find peace and solace during this challenging time.
Please reach out to us at
758-452-2021, Castries, or 758-454-9239, Latuni, Viewfort, or visit us at ramballysfuneral.com.
We're here for you, ready to listen, support.
and serve with heartfelt compassion. You can lean on us.
At Ram Bally's,
we care.
Exciting things are happening
This is it.
right now
I can't help it.
on Rev of St. Lucia 959. The Alpha of Radio.
Join